My name is Ruth DeFoster, and I am a lecturer and the Director of Undergraduate Studies for the Hubbard School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Minnesota. So I'm a former journalist, as are a lot of the faculty at the Hubbard School. It's another trope in journalism education that sunshine is the best disinfectant. And that's, in the Hubbard School, we have the First Amendment actually written on the walls of the first floor of Murphy Hall. And we're really passionate and devoted to that, to free speech and free press. So you do see people who are attracted to the profession who are really passionate about doing good and making the world better. And so I think that Venn diagram overlaps quite a bit with religious faith. Coverage of people of faith is a real area that journalists need to work on. I think there are a lot of misunderstandings and misapprehensions that kind of get wrapped up and repeated and recycled, especially in the sort of national news stage. And it's interesting, we just had an Anselm House event talking about faith in the news and the way that journalists can cover faith communities, and I found that really interesting and actually very illuminating to hear from journalists who were talking about how they try to cover faith in an objective way. That's something that I really do talk about a lot with my students. In fact, one of my classes, Advertising in Society, essentially I've started shifting it toward focusing more on moral philosophy, because what I really want our students to do, and a lot of them take that opportunity to talk about their own faith and to talk about their upbringing in a religious community. I have a lot of students who are Christians who talk about how that's informed their moral attitudes and the way that they process information in the professional world. And what I really want them to do is to unpack how that will help them to become ethical practitioners of mass media, whether they're going to be journalists or advertising practitioners. I would say it's equally important for them to understand their own kind of ethical foundation. And so that's something that we really work on. And so I don't think that journalism educators should shy away from those conversations. I think they're really important because these are students who are going out into the world to become writers, to become arbiters of truth if they're journalists, to shed light in dark places, to be truthful in advertising claims in a really complicated and ethically dicey advertising landscape, and public relations professionals. And so they really need that moral grounding in order to go out into the world and do good work. So I've been a faculty fellow for 2 years now, and it's great because I often, being in liberal arts and being on the East Bank, I don't get a lot of opportunity to meet and connect with other professors and instructors who are not in my field. The thing that I've really gotten the most out of it is learning how other departments work and benefiting from the perspectives of other scholars who do not come from my background. And so it's really interesting to hear from folks who are in the hard sciences, who are teaching chemistry and biology and math, and hearing about their perspectives and how their faith informs their work as a mathematician or a scientist. So that's something that I really just wouldn't get if it weren't for a program like this.